tell us this story, Alan.
Okay, so this is a holdover. This came out 2 weeks ago, but it's still relevant. Netflix Ted Sarandos, generative AI tools will be a great way for creators to tell better stories. Thanks, Ted. What the long-term impact of generative AI will be on Hollywood is hard to predict, Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos said, but he took a shot at addressing it anyways. Speaking at a streamer's Q2 earnings interview, I think that AI is going to generate a great set of creator tools, a great way for creators to tell better stories. And he said the business case for generative AI isn't to reduce costs, but to improve the quality of storytelling. There's a lot of filmmakers and a lot of producers experimenting with AI today, he said. They're super excited about how useful a tool it can be. We've got to see how that develops before we make any meaningful predictions about what it means for anybody. But our goal remains unchanged, which is telling great stories.
Well, here's the thing about Netflix. They have so much amazing data. The way they run things is every decision is data driven. Mm-hmm. And by that, I mean, if, for example, you're binging a show, right? And you're watching 8 episodes, they know exactly how many people started the show and how many people finished to the end. And my understanding is that if less than 50% of the people who start episode 1 watch episode 8, that show is canceled. So you get like 1 season shows. It's like, well, under less than half the people who started it finished it. You have to retain the audience. So because of their deep data tools, they know they can tell you exactly how many people watch episode 1, how many watch episode 8, how many people just click to skip to the next episode, how many people just binged it all day. Like, their data is so deep, and they've shared it before.
Yeah, I have a even weirder story. If you go to the Film Thread interview channel, I interview twice mega producer Michael Mendelsohn, and we talk a bit about AI, about the analytics. And he talked about how in movies, when he pushes a movie to Netflix will always come back with the analytics saying your movie needs to have this. For example, one example he gave is your movie needs to have hoverboards in it because that's the trendy thing.
Wait, is that real?
That's real. And so he put hoverboards in it because that's what the analytics say. And I remember in the last interview I did with him, he mentioned it again. I said, he goes, yeah, we have a movie on Netflix and we got notes from Netflix saying the analytics of the algorithm says you need this in your movie. And we put it in there. I said, well, what was the result? And he said the result was our movie was #1 on Netflix for 7 weeks.
Wow. What is it?
I forgot the name of the movie, but we talk about it in that interview.
Well, I think it's, first of all, it's very smart. I think in some ways, I wish Disney or Lucasfilm at least would look at those analytics. How can they look at the analytics of Acolyte and call that a success? They need to admit we didn't give the people what they wanted. We did the story was not up to snuff. Many people checked out or didn't even bother. So yeah, it's
well, I mean, I think that's why the strike was so important to Disney. Because the strike allowed them to cancel a bunch of projects that they had committed themselves to. And now they're no longer committing to it because they obviously know it's not going to perform well.
Yeah, it's I think it's not, the data is fine. It's not about the data. It's about how you react to the data, right? What decisions are you basing it on? Yep. If Stranger Things, 90% of the people who started the show finished it, that's that season 2, season 3, like, you base your decisions on your hits, not like with Lucasfilm where we're going to double down on failure, right? That's a mistake.
Well, yeah, the difference is the algorithm says this is what the people want. Disney, on the hand, it says, though, this is what the people should get, and that's why they throw in the DEI and stuff. They think, they're ignoring the algorithm, saying no, people just want to see themselves on screen. People want diverse voices in their movies. When the algorithm tells them, no, we want hoverboards in our movies.
Well,
I mean, this is Moneyball. This is essentially Moneyball.
But I love Moneyball. First of all, I love the movie Moneyball with Brad Pitt. I think it's a really I love sports movies in general, well told. But that movie was really interesting.
Yeah. There's a nerd story too. When you talk
It's a nerd story about data. I'm just going to use data. The main thing is guys who hit and get to first base, those teams win more often. Let's get guys who get more, get on base. Get on base. So yeah. And why do you think Netflix, of all the streaming services, they are the most successful? Bar none. They beat Hollywood at their own game. So learn from these lessons. Let's talk about this story here real quick, because I, for one, love deep fakes. I love them. I know they are dumb, and I think pretty much everyone can tell they're fake. I mean, look at this one.
Now, say my name.
You're Chris Gore.
You're goddamn right.
See? How about this? Yo, Adrian! I did it! I mean, obviously those are fake. I happen to think deepfakes make great entertainment.
Oh, come on!
I mean, they're funny. They're fun. But let's look at this story. I think that's the wrong story, Alan.
No, the entertainment to outlaw AI deepfakes. Oh, I'm sorry. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
entertainment. Go ahead.
No, I go ahead and read it. Read the title in the.
Okay. Entertainment industry backs a bill to outlaw AI deepfakes. Look, Fran Drescher. The entertainment industry is united in support of a bill to outlaw digital deepfakes and create the first ever federal rights to one's voice and likeness. A bipartisan group of senators led by Senator Chris Coons of Delaware introduced a revised version Wednesday of the No Fakes Act, which would make it illegal to create an AI replica of someone without their consent. The bill has the support of SAG-AFTRA, Disney, and the Motion Picture Association, which represents 6 major studios, as well as the Recording Industry Association of America, Recording Academy, and major music labels and talent agencies.
Here's the thing. It's being used for entertainment now, and I think it's funny. I see a lot of other creators on YouTube use it. It's clearly falls under parody, satire. I don't know that if I've ever seen a deep fake that was not a deep fake. Like, if I have seen it, I don't know that I saw a fake one that I thought was real. I think it's pretty obvious when it's fake, like the examples I showed when we started talking about it. I think it falls under parody. So I don't know. I don't like putting rules on things like this, like art. So I don't know. What are your thoughts, Alan?
Well, we all know the event that spawned this, and that was Elon Musk retweeting or re-Xing a video of Kamala Harris, basically telling the truth.
Yes, I saw that video. It's hilarious.
It was clearly AI, and what soon became what I soon realized was the reason they want to get rid of AI deepfakes is because conservatives use it better.
Well, I think when it's used for humor, it's pretty obvious when you see it. I don't like the idea of restricting it. right? I don't think that's a good idea.
Plus, let's say, I mean, this is going to be a constitutional battle. It is going to go to the Supreme Court because, as you say, it is parody, it is art. And it's also, how do you define what a deep fake is? That's the biggest thing. If you're 100% right, does that mean it's a deep fake? If you're 90% accurate, if you're 80%, where along the scale? How much do you have to alter someone's voice / appearance to where it's not considered a deep fake and they can't sue you for it? And that's the problem with making a law like this. I just, this is the year where we bring up this same issue of government overreach. How far is too far? And it just feels like this is going to go too far from a government needing to control things standpoint. AI is still new. It's still new. It's still untested. I mean, you got to let the technology go a little bit further before you start even thinking about, whether you need to regulate it or not. This scares me, and this is why I just don't support stuff like this. I support freedom of speech.
Yeah, I think, and we'll see. This may fall under that. Where it's going to get weird is if people think it's real when it's not.
Yeah.
It's maybe it should be labeled, but not banned. But I think we're in the early stages of this now, and I'm against government getting involved in this at all. Government rarely makes anything better. So I would push back on this.